started with 20 teams, and now we're down to only 2, fighting for the right to be called Division C champions. Welcome to the Bell Sports Complex practice facility of the Montreal Canadiens and home to the Flag Plus Football Division C Finals. I'm Brent Bakken. I'm joined by my broadcast partner, Stefano Berardi. Steph, welcome to the finals.
I am the one they call Stefano. I am happy to be here. It should be a very interesting game that we have on our hands over here today, and I'm looking forward to see what happens.
Yeah, so we have the 8-2 Mercenaries taking on the 5-5 KGB team. It's kind of a David versus Goliath. We have one team who finished first in Conference B in the Mercenaries, and a KGB squad who made the playoffs by only 1 point. They're the sixth and final seed to make it in Conference A. What kind of matchup are you expecting this evening?
Honestly, if I were to look at records, I would say that KGP doesn't have a chance, but they've proven to us 3 times already on this whole run that when they are considered underdogs, they show up and they have what it takes to win the game. So honestly, I hope they keep that mentality and give Mercenaries a run for their money.
All right, so quickly before we kick off, we're about a minute away from the opening snap. You talked about being underdogs, and that is KGP, the 6th seed in Conference A. They knocked off Logan, they knocked off EZJ Govan, another heavy favorite for a lot of teams. A lot of people thought was going to make a championship run. And then last week in the semifinals, they knocked off the number 2 seed in Conference A in Keyport Lock. What has been the key to their success so far in the postseason?
Honestly, They look at their opponents and they expect them to look at them as weak. So with that, that's kind of like the inner fire that they use to prove the teams wrong. Like Logang is a type of team that, they always think that the competition is nowhere near their standards. They got bit in the ass, to say. Then they beat EZJ Coven. That's very surprising in my opinion. I thought EZJ Coven would be with us here now in this final game. They proved me wrong. And Keyport Lock, 2 teams with similar styles, and they made the key stops, and they just keep proving time and time and again that they shouldn't be doubted.
And the Mercenaries obviously coming back down 22-6 in their quarterfinal matchup, beating Jagerbomb by a score of 30-28. It was a thrilling game. And then last week in the semifinals, going to overtime, beating another favorite team. Despite finishing with the same record, the Mercenaries got the points for advantage. So they had the top seed. Simon Says, had the number 2 seed. But the Mercenaries emerged victorious, 34-33 in overtime. What do you think has been the key quickly to the Mercenaries' success?
Honestly, it's just it's the play of Gino, and we're going to see how he plays in this game here.
All right, so I'm going to have the opening play in just a few moments. Right now, finishing with the best record, the better record, again, 8-2 is a Mercenary, so they get the choice whether they want to start the game on offense or start it on defense.
Honestly, I expect him to start on defense, and because Gino, he's very strategic, and he feels like having the ball to start the second half would be in his favor. So I believe that we're going to see KGP on offense, and it seems like they're setting up. Yep.
And quickly, just give one key for the Mercenaries to get the W and one key for KGP to get the win.
KGP's just got to keep playing with that fire that they are the underdog. People count them out, and they are not to be messed with. And Mercenaries, honestly, in my opinion, is just don't take KGP lightly like teams have, and it has not worked out in their favor. So those are both key points, All
right, so this is the first meeting between both teams. As you've been watching on the FPF YouTube channel throughout the majority of the day, every other championship game that we've had so far, both teams have had a little bit of history playing each other in the regular season. So this is the first game on this championship Sunday where the 2 teams have not played each other in the regular season. Again, I mentioned an 8-2 regular season record for the Mercenaries and 5-5 for KGP. This should be a fantastic game. Quickly, one key player for KGP that he thinks is going to be a difference maker.
Honestly, it might sound cliche, but honestly, it comes down to the quarterback, Phil Cutler here. He's got to make sure that he has his team in check and they know each role, and they got to thrive on that.
Yeah, so far 17 TDs and only 1 interception so far. He's been amazing this postseason. And for the Mercenaries, who's one key player do you think is going to make a difference for them?
I feel like Isaiah Larda rushing Phil Cutler and getting Phil off his game will be a big impact on this game.
Yeah, Larda, 2-way threat. Cutler gets the first snap of the game, looks to his left. He has a man. It's Gabe D'Amico. Mazza, he trucks a guy, knocks the player over. I think he has enough for the first down. Good play, good first play right there by Cutler.
Yeah, here's Cutler. He's playing it safe. He's just moving the chains here. He feels like he doesn't really need to force things, so he goes short and makes his receivers do the rest.
Yeah, making a tackle on that play, but despite getting knocked over, was number 24, Edouard Leroux. Leroux last week, 7 tackles. He was the best defensive player in all of Division C last week, leading Div C in tackles.
Yeah, LaRue is a guy here. He's a lower division player, and this is what Gino does. He picks these guys up from the lower divisions, and he makes them shine in the higher division here in Division C.
So Leroux has 8 tackles so far in the postseason. Second down. First, rather, pardon me. D'Amico Mazza with a second catch of the game, pick up of about 4, maybe 5 yards in that play.
Yeah, that's a great play there. He's playing safe, conservative football here, Phil. So that I feel like he's going to slow down the clock as much and as he can, and keep Gino off the field there at quarterback.
You see there's a huge difference in terms of the roster for both teams. Of KGP only using 7 players. Only player they have on the bench right now is number 40, Brendan Parm. I believe there's about 10 players in this lineup this afternoon. Short pass over the middle to Joseph Hotmeyer. Hotmeyer for gain of about 5 yards. I think that'll be enough for the first down. Tackle on the play made by number 22, Justin Rear.
My mic's not working.
So it's going to be first down right now for KGP. Just going from left to right, the receivers are wide receiver to the left, Gabe D'Amico, Mazza, Jonathan Garfinkel in the slot. Here's a quick pass. Color goes to his left. He goes to his right now. He's scrambling to get it for the end zone. Touchdown, KGP. Spectacular run right there. About an 8-yard scramble by Phil Cutler, and he gives his team a 6-0 lead. So we'll have to see now, coming out on offense, if the Mercenaries are going to be able to respond, giving up a touchdown on their first defensive series of the game to KGP. So we'll have to see whether they're going to go for 1 or go for the 2-point conversion here.
All right, I was dealing with a bit of technical issues here, so let's see how Phil gets this convert over here. Converts, I feel, are going to be key.
Yeah, they're going for 2 for the convert. Cutler gets the snap, looks over the middle, pass to his left, just behind his receiver. The intended target was number 7, James Aker.
Yeah, I feel like that was a bit of a forced throw. He felt rushed, and he just felt like he had to get it out there. And unfortunately, it just went past everybody. Thankfully, it was an interception in return for a 2 point. A good first drive, though, from KGP over here.
Now, Gino DeFazio and the Mercenaries offense are taking the field, their first offensive series of the game.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be Phil's going to have to slow down the clock and keep Gino off as much as possible.
DeFazio gets the snap, goes to the flats, a one hopper. That pass was intended for Justin Weir. Took a bounce right in front of him.
That's a rare miss throw by Gino. Those are usually the routes that he always connects with his receivers on, those quick hooks there. I was surprised that he threw it into the ground. Maybe Julien Payman rushing him is kind of going to be tough for him to deal with, and we'll see how he adjusts.
So DeFazio, of course, along with Matt Peacock, Justin Weir, Jonathan Bardo, who was unable to play in this later game. So as Isaiah Lard, they've already won a championship earlier this afternoon with Yin Yang in the Co-Ed Division 2 championship. Nice catch on the sideline there.
That was a nice catch there.
Etienne Brisson.
This was a good find. He went, Garfinkel played it safe. He backed up. He kept the play in front of him, and he was able to get the first. I believe he got the first down there. It was a great play, though. It's a great route. It's one of his favorite receivers when he can't find his other top read.
And Brisson has been a force so far in this postseason. 8 receptions coming into the game. 8 receptions, 78 yards, and leading the team with 4 TDs, making 9 receptions right there. And this youngster's first year playing in a higher division is making an impact.
Yeah, that's another guy that Gino scouted from the lower divisions with, along with Edouard Leroux. Gino seems to like it, and it seems to be working out.
Yeah, both teammates in Black Mamba playing the co-ed division. Pass to the right again. Here's Matthew Peacock. Looks like he has enough, I believe, for the first down.
That's more of a veteran on Gino's team there. Matthew Peacock's been playing with him for a couple seasons now. They seem to have a great connection. And Matthew Peacock, he's a sure-handed receiver. He just has to get the ball, and as soon as he could see it, he's more likely to make the catch. He rarely drops passes. He's a very good receiver.
Yeah, Peacock scoring again in that co-ed championship game earlier this afternoon, scoring 3 touchdowns, including the game winner. Helping Yin and Yang get the victory, co-ed championship. Tackle on that previous play was made by number 97, Jonathan Garfinkel. First down now for the Mercenaries offense. DeFazio gets the snap. He looks to his left. Pump face, and he throws it wide open in the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Mercenaries. Number 22, Justin Weir, and this game is tied up at 6 apiece.
That right there was a great route ran by Justin Weir. He's a guy that usually flows under the radar of most defenses. You know, they don't really see him. He's short in stature, but he's very quick. Gets behind the defender often. As you saw, wide open back of the end zone, corner of the end zone. Gino was able to find him on a dime.
So for Weir, this is a better start. He actually took the reins. He started the first series on offense at quarterback for Yin and Yang in their earlier win over Drunk again, looking to score in the co-ed game, and then winning that one. I believe it was 55-46. 56 rather than 45, and Weir threw a pick 6 in his first pass of the game. DeFazio now looking for Brisson. Brisson was open in the right corner, but that pass is way too high.
Seems to be one of his routes, his go-to routes, those corner routes there. But yeah, going back to Justin Weir, honestly, he plays quarterback also in Division D with balls deep. And he doesn't really, in my opinion at least, he's more of a receiver than quarterback. Quarterback is a very tough position to work at and tough to grow and stuff. Gino's been playing quarterback for many years now, you know, so he kind of understands the ropes. He's been one of the veterans of flag plus football.
Yeah, Cutler and DeFazio, both veterans, flag plus football. Cutler's made 6 All-Star appearances in his time, and as has Gino DeFazio, 6 as well. Cutler now rolls out to his left, looking to throw across his body. He has a man over the middle. Believe he was able to make the catch. Yes, he is. Gonna have to wait to see exactly who made that reception. He was tackled on the play by number 22, Justin Weir.
I believe that's Hotmeyer.
Yeah, you're right. Yep, Joseph Hotmeyer, number 88.
Another guy there that's on this team, KGP. He's another receiver. Nobody really knows anybody on this KGP team besides Garfinkel and Paymon Cutler, but everybody else on the team more like flies under the radar, and they seem to work together.
So first down now. Looking to his right, looking to his left, sacked by Isaiah Allard. He froze Cutler in his trash right there. Cutler wasn't sure whether to go left, wasn't sure whether to go right, and that hesitation was all Allard needed to get the sack.
Honestly, Allard, one of the premier rushers in the FPF here. Honestly, he doesn't get rattled. He doesn't jump, which in my opinion is number one rule. Don't jump as a rusher. Even at that, he's very tall. He doesn't have to jump to get into the view of the quarterback there. So I mean, he manages to keep the quarterback under wraps, and that time he got a big sack. It's gonna be an interesting matchup.
So for Allard, that's his 4th sack of the postseason. Second down now, Cutler. He has a man open. Gave D'Amico Mazza touchdown. KGP.
That was a bad drop. There's a miscommunication there. It looks like Kendall and Edward are like, one of us should have had that guy there. They kind of a miscommunication on defense, and Phil Cutler saw that right away, exposed it, found him wide open for that 6 points.
And that's the thing. I mean, DeFazio always has a big team, no matter what division he plays in. And that's I think, one of the only downfalls. Yes, you have a lot of fresh bodies, and you're able to rotate guys in and out and have versatility throughout your lineup. But personally, I think, I want to get your opinion on this as well, is that sometimes could be a negative in terms of having so many different players and guys moving all over the place may not necessarily be comfortable in a certain role or because of adjustments all the time.
For sure, we'll get back to that after this play.
So Cutler now rolls to his right, passes it over the middle.
Oh,
dropping the ball.
Big stop. Going back to your former point there, Brent, chemistry, in my opinion, is huge. The longer teams play together, the better they play as a unit. They in my opinion, it's tough because Gino, like we know, he has a lot of players that come in and out of his roster. Now he's got it looks like he has a solid 8-9 players that he'll keep in both the co-ed division and this division. But that chemistry is huge, and the defensive chemistry needs to work out a bit for this to work out.
So 12-6 lead now for KGP. A touchdown by Gabe D'Amico Mazza. First down throw, pick up a 7 by Etienne Brisson.
Yeah, Brendan Parmer with the tackle. Etienne Brisson, like I said, he's very quick. He's tough to cover, man. If you go on him man coverage, he's one of the tougher guys to deal with because he's speed. He's not that short either, right? He's got about the average height, but it's a good height. As you can see now, he's on Jonathan Garfinkel. He has the height advantage.
Second down now. Second down on the ball. 2 passes to the sideline, and that's picked off by Parm. Brendan Parm, his first interception of the postseason. comes at a great time for KGP, giving him the ball inside the Mercenaries' end of the field.
That was a fantastic read by Parm right there, man. He undercut the comeback route to KD, and he had what it took to keep his feet in because he was very close to the edge there. He kept his feet in. Huge interception. I really hope that Cutler would be able to capitalize on this opportunity, and we'll see how that goes. Very big play, huge play, huge play.
So now first down, just ahead of midfield. Cutler gets the snap, rolls out to his right, cuts back to the left, and he's going to run. Tries to get up the middle, able to pick up a couple yards, maybe 1 or 2 before he gets tackled by Isaiah Allard, number 2.
That whole play, it looked like he was just trying to make sure Isaiah didn't get to him, you know. He tried to avoid Isaiah Allard there, which is going to be a very interesting matchup because Isaiah Allard, like I said before, premium rusher. Phil Cutler, veteran quarterback. He's going to have to find a way to have Isaiah not have his usual impact like he usually has on opposing quarterbacks. So right there, he tried to shake him off. He gained a couple yards, and we'll see what he does next.
Yeah, Isaiah Allard coming off a phenomenal game against Simon Says, again, winning 34-33 in overtime. Get to his stats in a second. Cutler gets a snap on second down. Now looks to his left, and the pass is off. I think they're going to call it a sack, and there's a flag on the play as well.
Yep, I think they're calling that a sack. I'm not too sure what the flag is, but the call on the field is a sack, I believe. And they're now the referees are huddling up, and they're going to try and figure this out. Isaiah Allard there having an impact again. Got to Phil Cutler quickly, right? You know, it's going to be a very good. It's going to be a fun matchup to see how that plays out throughout the game.
Yeah, Cutler definitely had to get rid of that ball quickly. He wasn't really even able to set his feet properly. Lucky he was able to get off such a quality throw that he did.
Yeah, but is it going to be called a sack? I think that there are. Yeah, it's on KGP.
Yeah, it's going to be rusher interference
on
KGP. It looks like KGP is going to elect to decline that.
And they'll take
and
the
then
sack.
Exactly, take the sack.
The Mercenaries declined it and took the sack.
Yep.
So imagine that, right? He got interfered with on the rusher, and he still managed to make the sack. It's an incredible athlete, Isaiah.
Yeah, so again, going back to that semifinal game against Simon Says, Allard on offense, 2 touchdowns. But where his biggest impact, I think, was on defense. He had an INT and a sack all in the same play. Again, we've seen it a couple of times, throughout our years in that FPF. Obviously, you've been scorekeeping for a number of years in this league. And the ability to have a rusher just jump up, tip the ball to himself, and then make the catch. And
it's unheard of.
Yeah.
He does it at such an easy rate compared to others. That's considered a fluke play. And for him to do it 4 times in one season, how is it really a fluke, though? Or is he just a phenomenal athlete? I believe he's a phenomenal athlete.
Well, that's exactly. And what I'll tell you, it happened. It was a reply for him and the Mercenaries as they were playing, Simon Says, and their rusher Nicholas Gropini, he did the same thing about 3 plays earlier to Gino DeFazio. He picked off the ball, tipped it to himself, and ran it in for a touchdown.
Oh, wow.
So definitely one swing of momentum, one way for Simon Says, and then right back in the Mercenaries' favor thanks to Isaiah Allard.
Doing the same exact thing. Switching ball possession is very easy. And
Cutler now gets the ball, throws it right over the middle. Hotmeyer, nice catch, right down the seam of the Mercenaries defense. Tackle on the play made by Justin Weir.
That was a beautiful touch pass. He threw it just enough so it went over Isaiah Allard's long reach. Honestly, I feel like Isaiah has an 8 foot, 9 foot wingspan. He's for him to throw it on a dime and touch pass. That's phenomenal. Phenomenal throw from Phil Cutler.
The Surge Ibaka of FPF?
Yo, he's tall, he's thin, he's fast. I don't know, man. He's just got everything an athlete needs. It's incredible. But that throw was phenomenal from Phil. For him to stay calm and just throw it just enough that Isaiah misses the tip, because if he would have tipped that, it would have probably been an interception because it wasn't a hard throw.
So Cutler in the KGP offense, converting on 3rd and long, setting up now 1st and 10 just outside of the red zone. Cutler's able to run. He does. He's going to the right side. Nice tackle by Allard.
Yeah, there he is again trying to beat Isaiah. He went one way. He did like a counter run. He made Isaiah think he was go left, but he ended up going right. Isaiah was able to adjust and make the tackle. So this matchup here, man, I'm telling you, this is going to be the big story of this game.
So Cutler for gain of, let's call it 3 on that 1st down run, setting up now 2nd and 7. Now it looks like he is inside the red zone, so he will not be able to run. Now, Steph, if you're Cutler right here, what kind of play are you calling?
Honestly, I would see him going to Julien Payement on a quick out right here to make him run with the ball. Oh.
Cutler gets a snap to the left, and it is a bit of a quick out.
Yeah. See, Julien Pimon went the other way. He went to Garfinkel on the left. Julien Pimon was open on the right. Yeah. So yeah, in short yardage situations, Phil is most likely to like as many plays as he can to get that short yardage. Like I said, he's inside the red zone, so it's within 7 yards. He can't run. So he's going to go like 2-3 yard passes and hope that it reaches the end zone. That was about a 3 yard pass. He's got about 4 yards left to the end zone, and we'll see if he continues going the quick route or if he's going to go for the dagger.
Let's see what Cutler has up his sleeve right now. Big play right here for both teams. Going for trips right formation as D'Amico Mazza goes to the right-hand slot right beside the snapper. Cutler goes to his left looking for a target. He has someone over the middle. D'Amico Mazza. Nice curl, nice sit down, nice hook right in front of the end zone, and he is in for his second touchdown of the evening.
I believe he is stopped at the 1. Our officials state there has not been a touchdown signal. They are huddling. Oh, one says touchdown, the other is agreeing.
Yeah, they're calling a touchdown.
There you go. There's a touchdown to D'Amico Mazza. Because I saw one referee point to the 1 yard line. Another referee came in, single touchdown. They discussed it. They came up with a touchdown play. And, that was big. Gabe D'Amico Mazza looks like he's an offensive guy, which is rare because he's usually a rusher on defense. So are the KGP offense thin, or is he just realizing that maybe going with a questionable something that we don't really see works out? So far, it's worked for 2 touchdowns.
So after a little bit of debate by the officials, it is finally marked a touchdown. 18-6 lead now for KGP. Cutler gets the snap. He rolls to his left. Now back to the middle of the field. Passes back to his left. 1-point conversion is good. Catch right there by number 4, Derek Eason.
Yeah, that was a great conversion. Honestly, Phil was able to get away from Isaiah. He's kept calm. He found Derek Eason in the end zone for that extra point. Honestly, that was huge because they needed. Honestly, against a team like Mercenaries, you need to capitalize when you have the opportunity to capitalize. They got the interception. They capitalized with a touchdown. Had they not capitalized with a touchdown, it wouldn't have really made a difference in the game, because Gino's still back with down one, and then he has the ball to start the half. So it was huge to capitalize on that.
So Gino DeFazio rather getting the ball on first down. Pass to the flats.
Alex Blais.
That's the snapper. Alexandre Blais, number 84.
Trusty snapper Alex Blais there. His safety blanket, for lack of a better term. He's usually the guy that's probably his third read. He usually finds him 5 yards around. And Alex Blais has an act to extend plays, but that time was a great tackle, and they limited it. They limited that play.
Second down and about 6 coming up now for the Mercenaries. DeFazio tossed. Oh, nice catch by Myers. And that was a great job right there by Myers, using his body to shield away the defender, and Garfinkel, number 87, from knocking down that ball. Great catch by the veteran.
Yeah, there's Myers there, Division 1 talent player against Jonathan Garfinkel, who is a phenomenal athlete, but he does not have the height advantage on Myers, so it was good for him to use his height, and it worked out for a big play here, and we'll see if they capitalize that with about 10 yards left to the end zone.
Myers coming into this contest, 5 receptions, 45 yards, 2 TDs, getting his 6th catch of the playoffs, and a big one for the Mercenaries. DeFazio right over the middle, and behind his receiver, Isaiah Lard, who was open.
Ooh, that's a rare miss from Gino there. I feel like Gabe D'Amico Mazza got to him quickly and made him throw off his back foot there, so it was an inaccurate throw, but if Gino could find a way to keep calm and maybe have the rusher not impact him as much, which is not easy because the rusher comes at you super quick and you got to think quickly. So that was a rare miss, but he was throwing off his back foot. Gino doesn't do that often, so if he continues doing that, it's no good.
Second down now, 2nd and 10. Oh, low snap. DeFazio had to go down and get it. He's able to get it down from the turf. Quick pass to Blais over the middle. I believe Blais had enough.
No, he got 7 yards.
7 yards, pardon me.
You got 3 yards shy of the end zone. Yep. But yeah, that play was Gino bailing out his team there. That was a bad snap. Would have been a huge loss of yardage there. But like you said, he had to act quickly. And who did he go to? He went to Blais, who unfortunately his snaps are usually on point. That time he kind of missed.
Third down now. DeFazio to his left, looking for someone over the middle. Yes, Blais, touchdown, Mercenaries. Alexandre Blais brings the Mercenaries within 6.
There he is, Alexandre Blais, the safety blanket, red zone threat, flashing us a smile after he made that catch. Very proud of himself for that play getting open. How? how do you allow a snapper to be like wide open in the end zone? Isn't that like kind of the first receiver that you know exactly where they go? It was wide open back in the end zone. Gino was able to find him easily, and they got the 6 points.
And pardon me, I apologize. No one will ever accuse me of being a mathematician. So actually, the lead is 7 right now, 19-12.
They got the conversion.
KGP.
They got the conversion. That conversion was huge before. It might come down to a game of conversions here, so we'll see.
Going for 1-point conversion is the Mercenaries. DeFazio looking to his right. He has a guy caught by Brisson. He's hammered by Parm. Good job by Brisson going down, surviving the hit, and keeping his arms wrapped right around that football.
That was a great catch. He was coming down. He ran into Parm, accidental contact, but he had everything it took to maintain possession of the ball, come down with that conversion. It might have a huge impact later on in the game. Now they're down 6.
Yeah, and a huge difference in terms of size. I mean, they're about the same height, but Parm has at least a good 20 pounds, I think.
Yeah, for sure. That's him, but he saw more like a sprinter physique, let's say, and linebacker Brendan Parm physique.
So the lead is now 19-13 for KGP. Cutler gets a snap in this series. Nice toss over to Garfinkel. He's going. Can he go all the way? And he's deflied inside the red zone by number 22, Justin Weir. And that you have to call, I think, right there is just bad defense by the Mercenaries. You had 2 guys going after the quarterback.
Yeah.
The rusher Lard was right there. I'm not sure why the other defender came over to get him. Garfinkel ended up being by himself.
I believe it was just they thought that Phil had crossed the line of scrimmage, so they thought it was a run play at that point. Phil Cutler, phenomenal field awareness, able to realize that he was still behind the line of scrimmage, gave up a little short pass to Jonathan Garfinkel, turned it up for like 30 yards.
So now we have the final 5 plays of the first half.
Is it the final 5 plays first half? Our clock says something else.
J.R. Beausoleil just whistled in 5 plays, and he's seen no 5 to the KGB huddle, although it does say 2 minutes and count 2 minutes of running, pardon me, on the game clock.
Yeah. Well, I guess.
Clarification of that soon.
We will clarify that as soon as we can. We'll see how Phil lines up over here, 5 yards about shy of the end zone.
Cutler gets a snap. He goes to his left, tosses it. D'Amico Mazza is just deflagged short of the end zone by Edouard Leroux. Just a reminder, obviously, for FPF, 22-minute halves, pardon me, and each half has 5 untimed plays at the end of it.
I'm surprised that Gabe D'Amico Mazza is having such a big impact on offense right now. You know, like I said, he's more of the rusher/defensive player. But like I said, they probably adjusted and figured that we need to keep Mercenaries guessing, so they add their rusher. And so far he's had a huge impact on his game. He's got 2 scores. He keeps getting open in the red zone. We'll see if he capitalizes.
I mean, to his credit, though, I mean, yeah, he only had 18 receptions, 276 yards, 2 touchdowns in the regular season, but he's turned up his game in the postseason. Get to that in a second. Catch over the middle.
Touchdown, Julien Payman.
Yeah, Payman with the touchdown.
That's another man right there going for his 2nd championship of the game, the night.
Yep.
He won Division A with the Braves. Congratulations to them. They're a fantastic team. You know, him too is a top division guy. He started off as a Division 5 player. Nobody knew who this kid was. And he's grown to become one of the most, like, feared rushers in Division A. And he's a good snapper. He's quick. Honestly, you give him open field, I mean, it's going to be tough to catch that guy, let me tell you. So he was able to find him. Like I said, that's usually his go-to play, a little quick out to the center, which was Julien Payman at the time when he's closer to the end zone, and that's what they did.
Payman's going to have a chance to go for another championship this evening. His team, the Alpha T, is playing against 2.5 Alcoholics. The catch was made, but out of bounds. So the lead stands at 25-13 now.
Up 2 scores is huge. It might not seem like much, but up 2 scores is huge considering Mercenaries start with the ball in the second half. We'll see now if they could close down Mercenaries in this whatever. I feel like whatever's left of this first half, because we still. I feel like we're in 19 seconds.
I feel like it was an errant whistle.
It was an errant whistle by J.R. Beausoleil. It's okay. Now it seems like there's 19 seconds on the clock. Timeout, I believe. They're gonna go for there's Mercenaries that want to be have the most plays that they could possibly go with, and we'll see how they act.
So here comes the Fazio and the Mercenaries offense. Clock is running, 15 seconds remaining in the first half. Pass on the right side, and that's intercepted by Cutler. Cutler read that one all the way. Almost ran it back for a touchdown, picked off by Etienne Brisson.
Man, Gino is struggling hard so far in this first half, man. He's not. We know Gino is a very conservative guy, but those 2 interceptions have been underthrown, to say the least. one to Brendan Parham, and now to Phil Cutler. Phil Cutler almost brought it back for 6. That if he had brought that back for 6, and it would be a 3-score game.
He was MVP in the co-ed game, 9 TDs, 0 INTs.
Who's this? Gino.
Yeah, Gino, again, I talked about earlier, leading his team yin and yang to the victory over Drunk. You got to look in the score. He had 9 TDs.
Imagine 19 Ds in a championship game, and now he's got 2 interceptions. Hey, is he a bit quarterbacked out? I hope not, because he's had at least maybe 5 hours of rest. It might be cold though, right? When you're in the zone and you have a cool-off period. It's tough to get back to those 9 TD games. Now we'll see if they capitalize.
Quick pass, Cutler to D'Amico Mazza. Touchdown,
His
KGP.
Gabe D'Amico Mazza's 3rd touchdown of the game. Did he even have 3 touchdowns on the season? I believe not. He had 2. So he already has more touchdowns in his first half than he did all season, because he is not much of an offensive threat, so we thought, until this game. He's been proving us wrong. He's been proving us really wrong. So I thought during I've been doing the podcast, every time we speak of Gabe D'Amico Mazza, it's always his defensive play. We never speak of his offense, and now he's got 3 touchdowns in the first half of a championship game. That's key.
So now the lead is 31-13 for KGP.
18-point lead right there. That's huge, man. Honestly, I feel like I really hope that Gino finds a way to shake off these cobwebs or whatever you may say, because it's rough.
KGP now going for the 1-point conversion to extend their lead to 32. Pass over the middle, one hand. Oh, Hotmeyer. I think he got a little cocky on that one.
I did. He's like, you know what? I'm so open. Let me just try and one-hand this conversion. Oh, I guess it's harder than I thought it would be. In my head, it sounded like it could go without a hitch. I feel like he had 2 hands up. That was an extra point for KGP. It's okay. He's jogging off. He's saying that it hit off his hand. He had everything it took to make the catch, explaining himself to his friend on the bench there. And we'll see now. Mercenaries down 18 points. Down 18 points. 8-2 against the underdog, KGP, who's been proving us wrong this whole postseason.
So less than 5 plays remaining. The Mercenaries offense, rather, taking the field. We look a little bit at a loss for words. DeFazio now gets a snap, a double rush being said. Nice move by DeFazio. He chucks it downfield to the from Matt Peacock, and that's knocked away by Phil Cutler.
Wow, what a great move, though, to evade 2 defenders. Gino DeFazio doesn't seem like much of a guy that's very nimble on his feet, but right there, he spun between 2 defenders, oncoming rushers, was able to throw it, chuck it down, and, great defensive stop there from KGP, and it's halftime.
So that was the final play of the first half. It was a 13 lead for KGP over the Mercenaries. I mean, Stefano, I think it's pretty obvious. The interceptions, the turnovers are killing the Mercenaries right now.
Well, for sure. I mean, honestly, every quarterback hates throwing interceptions, but like to throw 2 of them in the first half, it would have been a 1-score game, and then after they capitalized both times. So, I mean, that's fantastic play from KGP there, eh? Capitalizing on them on those opportunities. Like I said, you have to capitalize on the opportunities against a team like Mercenaries, who have a very strong offense. But, they've been figuring him out, and Gino seems to be off his game. We'll see if he shakes it off in the second half, and we'll see if he comes back from this. They start the ball, so it's either they're going to still be down by 3 scores or down by 2 scores, depending on how they capitalize.
And now for KGP, I mean, do you want to keep your foot on their necks, or the pedal to the metal, if you will, or do you kind of take it easy, just play a prevent defense the rest of the way? What would you do if you were Phil Cutler and company?
You see, the worst thing you could do when you have a big lead is assume that all you got to do now is just defend and you'll win. So in my opinion, just keep doing what they've been doing all game. Don't take the foot off the pedal. Continue playing their offense the way they did. Continue playing their defense the way they did. Don't change anything. Don't force your whole team just to defend and not really care for offense. Just keep playing hard, and they'll be fine. They've just got to keep doing what they're doing.
And obviously switching sides to the Mercenaries again, down 31-13. Is it just as simple as trying to, obviously you need to get some touchdowns, but even to get there, is it as simple as just trying to move the chains and getting some kind of positive momentum on offense?
I feel like they have to go big because they need to, actually in the first drive they don't. The first drive they're fine. They could take their time. But after that, They have to go big, and they have to make stops on defense. And so far, their defense hasn't been able to stop Phil Cutler's offense, and that's why they're down by 3 scores, which is amazing to me because KGP's offense is good. Yes, Phil Cutler's a good quarterback, but the Mercenaries' defense has been like pretty shut down, and their offense has been able to keep up with the opposing teams this whole season. And this game, the most important game, is the complete opposite. So I don't know. Maybe they just underestimated KGP, which is the worst thing they could have done.
Yeah, so coming into this game, at least in the regular season, KGP 4-1 when they had the lead at halftime, but so far perfect 3-0. They led it in each game at the half. Each game so far in the postseason, they're trying to make it 4 in a row if they can to win the championship. Well, let's see how this one plays out.
I think that Gino's going to try and trying not to run off too much time off the clock here, but he's going to try and score quickly, in my opinion. He feels like he has no choice but to score quickly in this particular position, and we'll see what he does.
First snap of the second half goes to DeFazio. Pass to the right sideline, caught by Matt Peacock. Gain of about 5, maybe 6 on the play.
Conservative play there from Gino there. All hooks there, it seems like. Matthew Peacock, like I said, trusted receiver. But honestly, I feel like they need to have bigger plays. 5 yards just won't cut it right now. They need more yardage. I'm not saying forced throws like he did for those 2 picks, but they need more yardage. 5 yards won't cut it.
So a gain of actually about 7 on that first down throw to Peacock. So setting up now 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3 rather. DeFazio gets the snap, goes to the flats. Brisson with the catch. He's tackled and knocked to the ground by Parm. Parm doesn't agree with that call, but I mean that's unnecessary contact right there. It's pretty plain and simple.
Yeah, I mean, yes, he ended up coming with the flag, but to kind of like lowered your shoulder into the guy's lower back there to get that flag, it's a contact penalty. But you could argue it all you want. I don't think they're going to change the their decision. But yeah, it's a contact penalty, and well, you just gotta take it easier, I guess. Try not to go too hard on these defenders. It is a non-contact game, so try and prevent contact at times. You get the flag, and that's out.
So a 5-yard reception by Brisson, and then a 5-yard penalty for the unnecessary contact on Brendan Parm, 2nd of the game. First down now inside KGP territory for the Mercenaries. DeFazio gets the snap. He looks to his right. Throws it down the middle. He has a man open, large, just off his outstretched left hand.
That was Julien Paymont playing dividends right there. He got to Gino. Gino thought he had an extra time, but as soon as he saw where Paymont was, he kind of threw it. You know what? Isaiah said, let me try and chuck it up there and hope for the best. Overthrown back of the end zone, too far for him to make the play. So Paymont here, he's playing quite the role in this game to try and get Gino off his game. We'll see if he's able to adjust.
So I said a few moments ago, 4-1 in the regular season was KGP when they had the lead at the half. A perfect 3-0 so far in the postseason. Switching sides to the Mercenaries after this play. DeFazio looks to his left, avoids the rush, has a man over the middle. It's Brisson! Second effort. Looks like he made that catch, but the official on the right sideline is saying no.
No, it seems like he juggled it, and then after on his way down, it fell between his hands, hit the turf, and that's not a catch. That's a trap catch, and those are not possible.
Yeah, trying to make it with the second and the third effort, and that's a rare drop for Brisson. He's had great hands we've seen so far in the season, postseason and regular season.
But it was kind of thrown behind him, but he still had enough time to adjust to that route. So, yeah, it's rare for him to drop a play like that.
Well, as the saying goes, if you get your hands on it, you got to catch it. Didn't work that time for Brisson. Throw it to the flats. Oh, and Allard was wide open. He burnt his man, and Joseph Hotmeyer. I don't think him and DeFazio are on the same page right there. I think DeFazio was expecting a quick hook on the sideline by Allard, or Allard was looking for a deep route.
No, I feel like what happened was Isaiah figured, you know what, I'll beat this guy deep. I'll do my route, but if I see that I could make an extra yardage, I'll turn up. At this point, Gino was expecting him to be at that spot. Miscommunication, which is rare because these two have been playing together for a very long time, and that's a rare miscommunication between Gino and Isaiah. But it might be because they're both rattled after down 18 against KGP.
It's a big play right here. 3rd down for the Mercenaries. Fazio not going to his right. He has a man over the middle. So Allard passes behind him again.
Oh, the pass behind him. Gino's off, man. Gino, I feel like he's out of it right now. Julien Paymont's getting to him. The 2 picks are not helping his confidence right now. He threw it behind Isaiah, who had room in front of him to make the plays. He's super quick. He could have turned up. Gino's just off right now, man. He's got that. That was a big play there. Turnover on downs. That's going to be tough to recover from, in my opinion. They're down 18 still, and they had the chance to bring it 2 scores, but now they're still down 3 scores. It's going to be tough to recover.
So that play taking place on fourth down. So again, as you mentioned, partner, turnover on downs. We talked about the Mercenaries. They never trailed in the regular season, but they've trailed once in the postseason, winning that game against the Agarball when they were tied at the half with Simon Says pulling up the victory. They have a big hill to climb if they want to have any chance of doing that this evening against a KGP team who's looked phenomenal so far.
For sure. And now KGP is just going to play conservative and chew the clock there. Phil Cutler with a quick pass to Julien Paiement. They're just going to run down this clock and try and give Gino the least time possible to come back from 3 scores.
So second down now coming up for KGP.
That a bit of a time wasting there, fixing his flag, or is that strategic? Or
Yeah, that's the art
it's like
of,
a hockey player breaking a stick on purpose there.
That's the art of playing FPF. When you have the lead, man, you take your time. You stay in the huddle as long as you can. Wide open. Wow, Jonathan Garfinkel, another blown coverage by the
Wow.
Mercenaries.
That was
Garfinkel
bad.
was in for 6.
This is, again, the Mercenaries defense unable to communicate. Jonathan Garfinkel, who's had an insane postseason. How do you leave a guy that's probably the hottest player on this team right now, except for Gabe in this game for some reason, but before this game, it was Jonathan Garfinkel, wide open on a wheel route, just dropping coverage, miscommunication. They got to clean that up. 4 scores down, man. This is going to be very hard for them to overcome.
That Garfinkel has been an impact in pretty much every game in the postseason. His biggest one was in the 32-31 victory over ECJ Govan. Got 2 TD receptions, also had 2 interceptions, and the game-winning PD knocking the ball away from the big man, Kevin Smuda, and that play is knocked away from the KGP receiver.
Bit of frustration right there on Darius' part. You know, I'm pretty sure they had no idea they would be down 4 scores against the KGP team. That has been, they've been shocking all of us for sure. But like these guys, you know, nobody likes to lose, and you have some very emotional players, to say the least, that hate the fact that they're losing by so much. If they were losing by 1 score, maybe they'd be calmer. But now they're down 4. It's just frustration at this point.
Just inside of 16 and a half minutes remaining in this second half. Pass over the middle, and that's caught by Blay. Picked up about 6 or 7 on that play.
Yeah, it was a safety play, and Gino's out of it. Honestly, he's just going to try and boost his completion percentage. I would probably go deep at this point. You're down 4 scores. You know, it can't get worse. I mean, it could if you're down 5 scores, but you know what I mean. You're pretty much at the point that you got to go big or go home kind of thing, you know. So I'm surprised that he went conservative with a quick route to his snapper. We'll see if he's going to go deep. He's got some deep threats on this team in KD and Isaiah.
Second and about 4 right now for the Mercenaries offense. Fazio gets the snap, looks to his right. He throws, he has Blay. Nice use of the hands. Nice catch by Blay. Tackled immediately, however, by Parm.
Yeah, it just seems like Gino just lost all confidence in himself right now. He's going to go for the easy, pretty much closest 100% catch plays at this point. I feel like he shouldn't, but, you know, that's what it seems like he's doing. I would still go big, but because you still have time here, but I mean, you can't be wasting time with short plays.
I don't think he's lost confidence in himself. I think he's just lost confidence in his deep ball. His receivers aren't really fighting for the ball. He's also underthrowing a lot of those deep balls as well. So I think you're right.
He feels like his throws are just not working today.
Fazio looks to his left. He has Blay again. 3rd catch in a row by Blay.
He had Peacock there at the back of the end zone. He's like he lost. I'm pretty sure he lost confidence in himself there, Gino. I mean, his deep ball's not there. His medium ball hasn't been there either. That's where he got picked off on 10-yard passes, more or less. Underthrown a 10-yard pass from a veteran quarterback like Gino is just not for him. I feel like he might have given too much to his co-ed game, and now this Division C game is rough.
2nd and 5 now. Fazio gets the ball over the middle. Finally, he's able to hit Allard. That route's been open pretty much all game long, but the Fazio's usually deliver the ball behind his receiver. This time he's able to connect with the big man and Isaiah Allard, picking up enough for the 1st down.
Yeah, that's their go-to play. Those two, they have that communication. Isaiah Allard has sturdy hands, but Gino's been missing him all game. Gino's been off today, and they should have done this at the beginning of the game. You know, march the field, 6, 7, 5, 8-yard passes, but those 2 picks, man, they're coming back to haunt them right now.
13 minutes, 40 seconds remaining in the second half of football. Pass to the corner. Myers not able to come down for the good job. I believe that was by Garfinkel.
Great play by
Getting up
Garfinkel.
to get a hand on that pass.
Great play by Garfinkel. Kendall Myers there. He's usually known for those jump ball situations. Jonathan Garfinkel, who is about maybe 5 inches shorter than him, was able to jump up there and disrupt the pass. Fantastic play. Prevented a touchdown. That's some great defensive skill right there from Jonathan Garfinkel.
So on the red zone, second down for the Mercenaries offense. Allard and Peacock to the left of DeFazio, Blay and Myers to the right. Pass over the middle to Allard. Behind him, he's able to make the catch. He got in. Touchdown. Mercenaries, Isaiah Allard.
They needed that early, man. Now it seems like they've connected twice now. It seems like that momentum is back between those two, but it might be a little late. But they're going for 2 here. I mean, there's no point. There's a bit of an argument there going on. But yeah, that he's been trying to find that all game. Gino's been off throwing behind him. This time he hit him exactly where he needed to be hit, right at the beginning of the end zone, in for 6 points. Now they narrowed down the lead to 3 points, and we'll see if they get this 2-point conversion.
So pretty much a necessity now for the Mercenaries. They're going to have to go for 2 every time they get the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, for sure. Of course, they're 2 points and nothing else.
Right now the lead is 37-19 for KGP. Fazio rolls to his left, not able to avoid the sack. So
Yeah.
again, the lead will stay at 37-19 now for KGP.
Yeah, there was a big play there. Gino was gaining a bit of confidence, then he got sacked now, so he's got to deal with Julien Paymal, who's been quick. He's been getting to him. Julien Paymal has been getting to him to the point that he's caused mistakes. This time he got him on a sack at a 2-point conversion. Might not count as much, but when you think that it's starting to come back, the flow, and now you get sacked on a 2-point conversion, and then even if you didn't get sacked, it would have been intercepted. So it was a 2-way sword against Gino.
So as you mentioned, Stefano, obviously KGP taking the time to snap this ball on offense. Cutler rolls to his right. Little touch pass over to Eason. Eason picks up about 7, maybe 8 yards on that first down play.
Yeah, this is pretty much what I expect KGP to do the rest of the game there. 5 yard, 6 yard, 4 yard passes, quick routes, quick plays, taking as much time in the count. The clock's running. They're in the huddle. They're discussing. They're probably just they're probably just saying the same stuff just to waste as much time as possible. I wouldn't be surprised if Phil decides to wait for the 5-second call to make the snap. So, and we'll see.
Second down now, 2nd and 5. Another pass to Eason, pretty much around the same spot, just inside the right sideline. Tackle on the play made by Justin Weir.
Yeah, now it just seems like Phil Cutler's trying to get it to Easton because he got Gabe for 3 touchdowns. He got Jonathan for their touchdown. Julien Paymal. He hit Hotmeyer a couple times. Now he's trying to get his other Derek Easton involved in the offense a bit, run the play, quick routes. That's usually what Derek Easton does. Pretty much that's his call. Short hooks, short slants, nothing deep. He's a very I would say he's the type of guy that would just be the guy that if the snapper's unavailable, he's available, not too far away.
So trips left formation being deployed right now by KGP's. D'Amico Mazza, Garfinkel, and now Hotmeyer goes back to the right-hand side. So an even set. Cutler, quick pass over to Garfinkel. Garfinkel making his way through the middle of the field. Avoids a tackle and finally brought down by Wire, pardon me.
Weir.
Justin
Weir made the tackle.
Weir, thank you, number 22.
Yeah, there's Garfinkel there on a quick route there. Like he said, he's just dissecting the time right now. He's just waiting for the clock to continue running. They've been here. They've had the ball for 3 minutes now. 3 minutes on a 22-minute quarter, 22-minute half is a lot. So they're just milking the clock at this point. They know that the game is firmly in hand, and it's on them if they were to mess this up. It's on them. There he is asking JR for a 5-second clock.
So 1st and goal now for Cutler and his offense. Nice throw to the flash of Garfinkel. Good tackle on the play.
Now he's just
Mercenaries defense.
he's just padding those stats right now. He's making easy completions, not forcing anything. He had to get the perfect game against Glogang, Phil, right? 18 of 18.
18, yeah.
Imagine that now. And that was a big win for them. That was the way to start, kind of like rocket their playoff run here. So he's going back to like what works, what's like almost guaranteed completion. That's what he's doing here, and it's taking a lot of time off this clock.
So second down now. Cutler gets a snap. He rolls to his left. Pass over to Garfinkel. Tackle on the play made by LaRue just outside of the end zone.
Yeah, here it is. Jonathan Garfinkel just always finds ways to get open. Even though people know that he has the capability of being a very top threat receiver, he's always finding openings. He always knows that Phil, when he trails out, he's got to follow him, and that's what he did in that play. He got his quick reception, and they're about 2 yards shy of the end zone right now.
So third down now for the KGP offense. If it wasn't sure already, it'd be sure for sure 100% that they could get this one in the end zone.
Yeah, this game's pretty much over, though, at this point.
Quick pass by Cutler to the flats. He has Aker.
No,
for
that's
the
Julien
touchdown.
Paiement. It's Paiement.
Paiement?
He got Paiement there. That's his go-to inside the 5, 4, 3 yard line. You know, it's quick out, end zone, wide open. Nobody saw him. How don't you see the snapper? You know that he's a top-tier talent. He just got open. He could have had a coffee, and he still would have gotten that completion.
Yeah, my apologies. Paiement, usually actually number 84, wearing number 7 today. James Aker usually wears number 7 for KGP.
Yeah, they've had different numbers. They've had different jerseys, but that's now Julien seems to have gotten his number 7 is his KGP jersey. Before he used to wear his Braves jersey where he was 84.
Yeah, so let's see right now what kind of play Cutler has up his sleeve and going for the 1-point conversion. Toss it back at the end zone, cut by Garfinkel, extending the lead.
Well, there's a flag on the play. Was that PI on the offense? Seems like it. It seems like there's been offensive pass interference.
Yeah, it might have been a screen set by one of the KGP receivers.
As this is going, they're discussing the play here. But honestly, they're up 4 scores again. Doesn't even matter at this point. Yeah, sure, you give them the call. But honestly, this game's pretty much in hand. I don't believe the Mercenaries could come back. They're just out of it. They're all out of it. The whole, every team member is out of this game right now. They just want it to be over. It's just been a complete stink show this whole time.
Stink show indeed.
Stink show indeed.
That's the Stefano Berardi. I'm going to give you that phrase right there.
Stink show, trademarked. TM. Yeah, it's been a rough outing for Mercenaries, man. I'm surprised that this is how I expected this game. I wasn't gonna say that Mercenaries would have blown out KGP, but I expected them to put up a better battle than this 44-19 score. You know what I mean? So honestly, they underestimated them. The capitalizing of those 2 turnovers in the first half, obviously a huge factor, and Gino's been out of it. It's kind of dragged on to the rest of the team that they're just in bad spirit.
So the pass interference call actually went against the Mercenaries. So KGP were going to redo on his conversion. Cutler now rolls to his left. He passes it back in his zone. The same play pretty much over again. All caught by Garfinkel, but out of bounds. Looked like his body fell on that back blue line of the end zone.
The call was on KGP, but they got the conversion, so they decided to accept it that they retake the conversion. That's what happened. They got the conversion. If they would have declined, they would have given the conversion to KGP, but it was Mercenaries that's what happened, and they went to the same exact play though, so it didn't really matter at this point.
Yeah, same exact play.
Same exact play, same exact receiver, same opening, same area. Everything was just like a splitting image of it.
Yeah, looks at the call. J.R. Beausoleil is the head ref in this one. He made the call. He initially signaled it was on KGP, but then he later actually changed it. He signaled it going against the Mercenaries, but nonetheless, as we talked about, they were able to get the conversion, being KGP, to extend their lead. So quick play on first down. Catch, I believe that was by Brisson. Gain of about
9 yards.
9 yards on that
9
play.
yard gain there.
So
They're just playing for pride right now at this point. Honestly, they know it's over. Yeah, he's
Pass
gonna
to the
go.
flats to Blay. Pardon me, to Brisson again, rather.
Blay was in the area, but it was Brisson came down with the catch. Yeah, they're kind of playing some kind of hurry up offense, but honestly, it's too late it's too late to come back from this. They just haven't been playing the Mercenaries game that we know them to be, and it's been terrible. And honestly, they know it. KGP is just taking advantage. They haven't let that get to their head, and now they're going again.
Quick pass. Brisson not able to hang on to that one. It was a low throw, though, by DeFazio. You see the expression on DeFazio's face. He just looked to the heavens, and he just couldn't believe that throw. And I think, looking at the bigger picture, he just can't believe the performance that him and his team have put forth so far this evening.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, there's no chance that he came into this game expecting like this much of a shit show. He expected it to be competitive. He expected his receivers to be on point. He expected himself to be key. But I feel like his whole demeanor has changed.
Pass over the middle to Allard. That play you've been talking about, finally taken down by Parm. But it looks like Allard will have enough for the first down.
Yeah, if they had this play early in the game, it would have been a different story. But they couldn't connect early. 2 picks. That's not Ungino, those 2 picks. Underthrowing, short routes. But great reads by KGP. KGP's defense has been phenomenal, by the way. They've been able to shut down any possible play that Gino had in mind. They've been able to relatively keep Isaiah quiet, even though he's got the touchdown. But we know him to get a lot more yardage than what he has accustomed so far.
Fazio now gets the snap. First down, goes to the corner. He has Allard open, overshoots him once again.
Yeah.
And that's another play partner that we've seen. Allard's been open a lot in that corner.
He's been missing him.
And that's exactly it.
That play in the season, 9 times out of 10, it's worked. This time, 9 times out of 10, it's failed, unfortunately. Like I said, it would be key for his connection with Isaiah and Kendall Myers to be on point, but he hasn't been going to Kendall much, and when he does go to Isaiah, it seems like he's been missing him way too often, and like it falls on his shoulders. Gino's probably in like tough spirits right now.
Second down now, pass over the middle, caught by Blake. He's tackled right away at about the 2-yard line.
It's about 3. It was Hotmeyer made the tackle. Yeah, there's about 2.5 yards left to the score, but yeah, that's Gino just going to a safety blanket, just trying to get up there. Julien Payemont taking himself off, knowing this game is well in hand. He won the championship before. He's going to win another one. He has the chance at a 3-peat next for Division B. Man, is he going to be that guy?
Now third down, pass to the corner, off the hands of Peacock.
Now see, that was a rare moment that Gino was actually in the right and his receiver let him down on that play.
It's a big fourth down now, ball at about the 2-yard line still.
Peacock usually makes that catch all the time. They usually have that connection. Sideline is usually Peacock or Weir. Peacock missed that time. It was, like I said, they're all out of it. Pretty much, they know the game's over. There's less than a minute left, I believe. And
less than a minute to 5 plays remaining in this one. Just a reminder, if you want to play some fall football, the FPF Cup season is upon us. Going to be starting, I believe, after Labor Day. Registration for that is taking place. The last day you can get your team in is August 23rd. For more information, go to flyplusfootball.com. Just a touchdown there by Isaiah Allard, pardon me. Padding the stats a little bit and making the score a little bit more respectable.
Yeah, that's pride, though. That has to be pride, Yeah, we scored. Yeah, we got slapped most of the game. We haven't been playing very well, but let's just try and get as much as we can. And that connection needed to be on point since the beginning. It was not. Kendall Myers was not utilized as much as he should have been in this game either. He should have been targeted a lot more than Gino has given him chances.
Mercenaries now going for the 2-point conversion. Pass to the corner. Allard gets up and he gets 2 feet in. 2-point conversion is good. Beautiful catch by Isaiah Allard. Unfortunately for the Mercenaries, it's too little, too late.
Show of respect there from Garfinkel. Yeah, the game is over, but he showed Isaiah respect for that phenomenal catch. But yeah, it's over this game. I believe that they're calling the game soon.
Now we got to do the 5 plays.
Because they scored.
Because now it's fucking less than an 18-point lead.
So yeah, 5 plays now has been listed in by the head official, J.R. Beausoleil.
Yeah, you're right. 17 points. If it was an 18-point difference, we would have had to. There would have been no 5 plays. Now Phil Cutler, he needs 1 first down, and he's a champion. And Julien Payemont is a 2-time champion today. This team right here, man, KGP has been proving us all wrong since the start. Fantastic, phenomenal story from them.
Cutler gets a snap now on first down. Looks to his right, goes back to his left, looking down the middle. He has a man open. Can he connect? Oh, it just through the hands of Jonathan Garfinkel. He was open. He got past his man, and number 15, Kendall Myers.
That play should have been the end right there. Jonathan Garfinkel should have made that catch. I believe it hit off his fingertips. It was That pass was the perfect placement from Phil Cutler. You couldn't have placed that any better. Right over Kendall Myers, who's a solid coverage guy. Jonathan Garfinkel had him beat. He realized that. He threw it just enough so that he still had the edge because Kendall's quick, and he has very quick closing speed. And, yeah, that's just – they should have ended that game right there. It's okay, John. You had a good game, good playoffs. It's fine. Don't worry. Just try and get this first down, and you'll be champion.
4 plays remaining. Cutler gets the snap. He goes to his left. He stops. He's going to make the throw. He does, out of the reach of number 4, Derek Eason.
Yeah, he's just going for the first down now, a bit out of the reach of Derek Eason. Derek Eason, I feel like he was already heading towards the left of the field when Phil wanted him to go right, so that's why he kind of caught himself flat-footed on that. Had he not taken off left following Phil, he would have probably been open right and for the first down, and they win.
So, Stefano, you talked about earlier, obviously, Julien Paiement is 3 plays away from being 2-0 so far and going for championships today. He's going to try to make it 3 in a row as his Division B team, the Alpha T's, get prepared to take on 2.5 Alcoholics. Whereas Isaiah Lard, after this one's all said and done, nice pass over the middle to Hotmeyer.
There it is.
Tackle
That's
on
game.
the play
That's
by
game.
Rear. Allard is 1 for 2, and that is it. A 44-27 final, a blowout victory for KGP, winning their first championship. Congratulations to Phil Cutler and his team on a well-deserved victory.
Yeah, they have been underestimated this whole playoff. They beat Glogang in the first game. Glogang, high-powering offense. They were able to shut them down. They beat EGJ Coven, who, in my opinion, was one of the best-built Division C teams in this division this season. They beat them. They were able to compete. They beat them. They beat Keyport Lock, who also, Jeff Rosenblatt, who knows what it takes to win in these certain games. They were able to make sure he was held down. And now they beat Mercenaries, 8-2 team. And they're champions now. Look at that.
Yeah, again, a phenomenal game by Phil Cutler and his crew. Again, there were only 7 guys compared to 12 for the Mercenaries. But again, we talked about all postseason. The Mercenaries have kind of been giant slayers throughout these playoffs, and they did it yet again.
KGP's been giant slayers.
KGP has been giant slayers, pardon me. So now, before we get the announcement, who are you putting your money on for the MVP of the game?
It would have to be Gabe D'Amico Mazza. He's got 3 touchdown receptions. I mean, without that, you're not winning this game. He has to be it. He has to be at least in the consideration. So unless you go quarterback, like the cliche.
So, yeah, you're not going to give it to Cutler. I believe he had...
Fantastic game by Cutler, but I mean, 3 touchdown receptions.
But he had 6 touchdown passes, and he had an interception as well, right?
Yeah, that interception on defense might give him the edge. But I'm talking like offensive playing, 21 points. That was big from, 18 points was big.
And don't forget, someone has to throw D'Amico Mazza the ball. I'm not taking anything away from the FPF veteran.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, the quarterback's usually the guy that gets there. So I was kind of going like off script, to say the least, you know. It's usually always the quarterback. Quarterback should always get the most recognition because toughest position to play in FPF, honestly. And we'll see. It'll probably be Phil Cutler, but I wouldn't be surprised if Gabe D'Amico wins it too.
We're going to have the trophy presentation in just a few moments. Simon Dagenet is going to have that interview on the field. As soon as he's ready and set to go, we'll kick it over to him. Nonetheless, no matter who gets it, a well-deserved win.
What a great
solid
run.
victory for KGP, who have been just phenomenal throughout their playoff run.
That was a great run from KGP this whole postseason. I always counted them out.
Joe.
See now who gets
All right,
it.
I'm here with Finals MVP Phil Cutler. How does it feel to win your first championship?
It's a long time coming, but this is the team that was going to do it.
So describe your season a little bit. You guys had like an up and down season. You started 6th seed, basically the Cinderella story, right? You were the lowest seed, beat everybody, made it to the finals, and then as like basically underdogs in the game, right?
Yeah, so we started the season 0-3. So the whole year we were basically struggling to come back, and we had to win the last 2 games of the year on the last play each time to make the playoffs. And then we had really good game plans coming into each playoff game. We felt strong. Offense executed, defense executed. And at the end of the day, you know, our team really sort of came together when we needed them to. And that's how you win a championship.
Congratulations, Phil.
Thank you.
So there you have it right there. The MVP of this finals matchup is none other than Phil Cutler, 6 touchdown passes and an interception. He was just phenomenal this evening.
Yeah, for sure. He had like a spotless game, honestly. 6 touchdown passes, a touchdown, almost a pick 6. He almost returned it for 6, that touchdown. He almost accounted for 7 touchdowns. Phil Cutler, fantastic game. We always figure his time has to come. He's been in this league for quite a while. He never won the big one. Now he won the big one in Division C as the underdog with a roster that if you were to put it on the same side as the Mercenaries team, they don't really have the edge on many positions, right? They were underdogs. They took that. They ran with it, and they are champions.
And now KGP, I mean, is looking at the big picture. I mean, this is the team who, again, at the halfway point of the season, they sat 1-4. Counting tonight's game, they've now won 6 in a row and 7 total out of the last 8. Just talk about how impressive the KGP, how impressive the run has been.
It was very impressive. As you said, they were 1-4. Mercenaries were 5-0 at that same point. So honestly, we thought that Mercenaries would run away with this, and they just got Gino was discovered. You know, they figured out what it took to beat him. It was a very big win from KGP. Honestly, phenomenal play. Everybody on the team deserves this win. Congratulations.
And obviously, a big point of the game was the 3 straight scores by the KGP offense. And just quickly for the Mercenaries, I mean, how do you think they rebound from this? They have a young team with a lot of good pieces.
They do. So they'll probably come back next season, and Gino's probably gonna. He's probably going to keep the majority of his guys. You know, he's a big he's a good leader, Gino. Honestly, he's a veteran. He knows how he's won, he's lost the finals. You know, he knows what it takes. He knows how to bounce back, and honestly, he's going to help these young players learn and develop sort of a veteran presence in FPF. You know, you win some, you lose some, part of the journey. You know, kind of thing. He'll probably come back with the same team.
All right, guys, so once again from the Bell Sports Complex, it is KGP winning the Division C championship over the Mercenaries by a score of 44-27. For Stefano Berardi, I'm Brent Balkin saying thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Take care.